Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ljubljana Talks, recorded live at IMEX 2026 here in Frankfurt. And with Gorazd and Jan, we have another fascinating guest with us, David de Bruijn.
Yes,
I hope I got it right.
you got it absolutely right.
You come from the agency Wink. Tell
Yes.
us more about it.
Where do we start? I think Wink is an experiential agency. We've been around for around 30 years now. The company started off throwing raves, parties, and our founder sort of found out that he really sort of loved to work with all different disciplines by throwing these parties, and that got noticed by a lot of promoters as well. And from there, brands started to follow. And that's basically what we still do today. So what we do is we, everywhere where brands and people meet, we try to create these memorable moments with them. Yeah.
It's a nice description. Wherever people meet, basically, you can create an event. Tell me a little bit more about the coming from the raving background, from musical background. How do you apply this? Is it one of your USPs that you use in the industry?
Well, I think the work we do or the environment that we live in is so multidisciplinary, right? So from light design, from choreography, from the moment you arrive, you were invited. And I think all these disciplines is something that you also see in that rave industry. And that whole industry is all around making people feel something, right? Giving people a real experience. And I feel that is that sort of thinking and that way of approaching. So really about putting the people first and putting their experience first. I think that is something that's super valuable when we work with brands right now, because we believe that is the work that sort of cuts through.
And what is your source of inspiration? Is it music or something else for your creativity?
Well, I think inspiration comes from everywhere, but I think every part of inspiration usually is connected to a certain human tension, right? It needs to be relevant. It needs to be relevant now, right? And I feel inspiration comes from the music industry. It comes from the design industry. It comes from very everyday human problems we see, right? So if we see there's a human tension or a human problem, and we feel there's a brand who can help solve that, then we feel we got a lot of inspiration from that as well.
Let me ask you something a little bit strange, I would say. I heard from one of the colleagues that definition of beauty is it's a little bit more than nothing. What would you say about it? Is it true or not?
A little bit more than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel beauty and design is not about a lot, but it's about being intentional, and it sometimes can be reducing, right? Sometimes it can be about adding, but it's I feel when it comes down to the design, you're designing for purpose. You're designing to make people feel something, and sometimes you need to go wild and big. And sometimes you need to go very silent. Sometimes you need to be as silent as possible to make impact.
Yes. We have a definition for the award we are organizing, that we are looking for unicorns of events, which are really unicorns in execution and in creativity. Do you agree with that, or you are looking for some other, I would say, dimension when you are creating your great events?
Well, I think
so execution on one side and creativity on the other.
Yeah, I feel it's a combination of both, right? So if you have a great idea, people in real life are going to experience it. So the idea needs to make sense from a human tension point of view. So people, it needs to have a certain relevancy. And then when it comes down to the execution, you need to go deep on craft. You need to go deep onto what are we actually trying to make people feel. And for me, it's like a combined effort always.
Because feelings are something that is strongly related with events. We want to make people feel, we want to immerse them, we want to, take them out of their thoughts and drive their thoughts into another level in a way. How do you approach this?
Well, I think a lot of people think that experience or feelings, it's all about the experience, but it's really about how do we transform, right? How do we go from one state of mind into another? So how can we help people that are not present in the moment? How can we help them become present? And I feel that that taking that absolutely seriously, to always understand what our role is within the environment that we're activating.
Okay. Can you give us an example?
Sure. During the Winter Olympics, the last Winter Olympics, we helped Corona to sort of activate their sponsorship. So we've activated like 74 locations around Miko and created a whole toolkit for the rest of the world. But we also developed a platform for Corona Zero called Time Zero, and it was where normally you have a lot of sponsors that take a lot of time, right, from athletes. But we decided to give it back because we knew that a lot of these athletes are in this, let's say, performance tunnel when they enter the Olympics. And some of them, there's like a lot of athletes that didn't really experience the Olympics. So we felt as for Corona that their role could really be to help them become present. So what we have done is we set up a whole system of calm basically around the Olympics, where we created green rooms where they could just relax in between the games. We opened a plant shop where based on the insight, if you take care of a plant, it gives you a sort of a sense of calm and it helps you to de-stress in a way. So we had a plant shop where athletes could foster a plant and adopt a plant. Then after the Olympics, that it would go back to the fans. And we had many activations. So we took Lucas Pinheiro, who won the first gold for Brazil. And we celebrated him on the mountain where we brought his friends and his fans. And then we had like a summit suite in the mountains where in the midst of all the pressure and all the attention he got, we said, we're going to leave you alone. We're going to give you time. And we gave him time on a beautiful mountain. And by doing that, we helped athletes become present. And I feel like that to me is a great example of how a brand can have a sincere role in people's lives.
But with Corona, you have a long relationship, I would say. From how can you create such a strong bond, with somebody from the pitching phase, I would say, to what you are doing now for them. We saw a lot of projects from your agency for Corona.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways, right? So it's about I think the client also really helps, right? I feel we are very much aligned on what we're trying to do. We're not throwing up. We're not convincing each other of each other's opinions. Mm-hmm. We're sincerely trying to see what we can do for people, and I think having a common muse that can really help you build long-lasting relationships.
After the Olympics, there was a lot of discussion about both events. I would say the closing in Verona and the opening in Milano. What can you say about it? Did you watch that opening ceremony of Olympics, Winter Olympics?
Well, I wasn't fortunate enough to be there, but I was busy, of course, with our activations in Livignos on the mountain. But of course, I did see the opening ceremony. Yeah, and what it is with opening ceremonies, I feel it's a representation of a country, right? And I think it's good that all the opening ceremonies are different. That we're not like looking at a sort of an expected quality or an expected narrative. So I kind of feel it's good that every country shows up the way they wanna do it.
It's very Italian, I would say, no?
Yes, yeah.
If you could do any type of an activation, what would it be?
Well, I think the opening ceremony of the Olympics would be interesting, because I think what's the most interesting thing is if the project that we do come with a certain suspense, it comes with a certain relevancy, because life is all about now, right? It's about the moment is now, and it's you had to be there. And I feel there are some moments in the world where this tension is the biggest, right? And one of those moments I feel is also the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
You cannot avoid actually the buzzwords, and after 3 days here, actually the AI is definitely one of the buzzwords. Tell us more about your relationship with AI, how you live together, how you use it, in the agency.
Yeah, we basically see it as a very welcoming tool, right? We see it as we don't see it as an guru that's gonna give us all the answers, but we see it as a way how we can improve our thinking. So the way we see it is, we're in the driver's seat. AI sits shotgun next to us, and when it comes down to the industry, with AI it becomes easier to produce content, basically, right? And we're already very saturated when it comes down to content. We see like 6,000 to 9,000 ads a day. So there's more and more need for live connection, and I feel with the growing evolution of AI, I feel that urge and that need for live experience are growing. So we're not worried, and we also feel on our side, our craft has become more and more important. So when for example, we created a platform for Corona, the Beach 100, and we made like a 200-meter sand list of the 100 most iconic beaches. And we could have easily made that in AI, right? It's the easiest thing to do. It's like within 10 minutes I can produce that visual. But because we went there, because we made it for real, like we spent like a whole night on the beach with 5 sand artists, like a whole team. And what you see is where usually the polished content would be the thing that you put on a pedestal. But now it's more about the BTS, right? It's about, again, the real content that has the most engagement. So I feel AI also somewhat helps us in a way to make real more important.
And who is in your team somebody who you need by your side anyhow, otherwise you cannot create?
Well, I would say that's not just one person. I think I'm the lucky one who gets spearheaded, right? I can sometimes present the ideas, but there's a whole team behind us. And
so it's a team sport.
It's absolutely a team sport, and we call ourselves a traveling circus family. So we have all geeks working for us, right there. So we have someone who's amazing, talented in merch design. We have amazing producers who can turn something that is an idea into reality. There's so many people in our team that are crucial to what we do. Yeah,
I feel a very interesting comparison of a circus to the business of events. I find that really interesting. And circuses on one side are dying out. How do you see the state of the industry right now?
Well, I think the state of the industry, I feel there's the big momentum happening right now. Because of the sort of the saturation when it comes down to the amount of ads we see, the experience industry is growing. We see that rapidly. We also feel that there's going to be a shift at one point where we're not just giving people experiences, but we're going to help them transform. That's super important. But what we're seeing is that experiential is moving to the front row of marketing. Is where you used to have like the classic marketing mix. You had the TVC, your above the line campaign. You have like the whole basically all the pillars, and then events or activation would almost be like an add-on. But now we're shifting that. We're putting that in front, and I feel that's very interesting because that also means that we need to think more differently, right? We need to think almost like a behavior scientist. How can we help people? And then we amplify it. And I'm not saying we don't need the whole marketing mix. We still need everything that is in there, but we are shifting priorities.
We are coming slowly to the end of Ljubljana Talks, and we usually finish off with a couple of fire questions, which are quick questions, which you can choose one, both, or elaborate or not, whatever you want to choose. So let's just go mountains or the sea.
It's the sea.
Awards or client results?
I think client results.
Okay, and this is not all what we prepare for you. We have a magical jar with some crazy questions. You will choose 3 of them. We need to shake this a little bit.
Okay.
And you can comment and answer this at the end.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the question is, what makes an event truly memorable? I feel it's participation. So if we manage to make people part of the experience, that is gonna make the difference between watching an event and being part of an event.
Might get the same one, man.
Yeah. Are we designing events for people or for LinkedIn? Yeah, for me that's simple. I think it's people, right? I feel everyone who let's say stops their professional career will delete their LinkedIn profile directly. But yeah, I feel people in the suits are also people. It's always people. Which buzzwords should disappear from the meetings industry immediately? I think the wow factor, right?
Okay. This one is really,
yeah,
overused,
it's very overused, and it is it's very hollow because the wow sometimes need to be very silent, right? So I think I feel everything we do is about taking people super seriously and putting as much love and craft into what we do, because then it will be shared by the people we work with, by the people who attend our events, and our clients will get the best results.
That was a really great closing of our discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest.
Yeah.
And stay tuned, we are coming back soon.